Alright, so here we are with plastic farming video number 4. So, as we've discussed in previous videos, plastic is important for people doing shotgun builds using trapper armor and bulking a lot of stuff to sell to vendors to make room in their stash, since we still have a very small amount we can hang on to. So, what we have for you today, as you can see by the sign in the background, is we've got Camden Park. So, Camden Park is to the southwest of Charleston. So you'll follow the main quest line and you'll eventually end up here. And then if you just follow the road out of town, you can come over to Camden Park. Now, Camden Park is important for a couple of reasons. There's also a key here that gives you a guaranteed spawn set of level 15 usable Raider armor, power armor, which is really good, low level if you're planning on using power armor for your main protection. So I'll cover that in another video, but before we get into that, let's go ahead and check our inventory. As you can see, no junk in my trunk, just my basic loadout of armor, my main weapon, and then just some grenades that I haven't sold off yet. We're running at about 121 pounds. Our last video was Watoga High, which had the most plastic we've gotten out of a single run. So that was at 157, mostly from the cafeteria, and it hadn't been picked over too hard. So now we're just going to go ahead and do a full clear of Camden Park. Now, this is an area that I stumbled across while I was looking for a key at one point, so that I could get to the Raider armor that I know of that I found in another character. And it looks like we are lagging a little bit. Right? R for the screws. But I found this place and I realized that there was quite a bit of plastic here. There's also a vendor here, another vendor. So you're doing a run of all the different vendors looking for a specific set of plans and you need another responders vendor to add to your route, then this is the place for you. I don't know what the harmonica has that I have marked. I don't think it's plastic, but let me check. Yes, the harmonica has plastic. Okay, so you definitely want that. Primary thing I saw a lot of was the Nuka-Cola cup and straw, and then stacks of Nuka-Cola cups. Okay, broken doll, pack of cigarettes. There are a lot of cigarettes here as well, but there's a lot of the Nuka-Cola cup and straws, which is the primary reason that we are in here. You want all of those. So they are scattered all over. They're on tables, they're on countertops, they're on the ground. There's a bunch of stuff. Mr. Jangles has got plastic in him. Gonna check over here. Oh, I guess the doll doesn't have plastic, but the other one does. Don't know. Okay, apparently it made a second teddy bear. Whatever. Glitchy, glitchy. We're gonna keep looking. All right, now this area does have mid-range scorched. It's got scorched ranging in the 20s, 14s and 20s. Pretty good place for. Oh, apparently there's some 30s here now too. Alrighty. Plasma, cool. They also typically have a lot of shotguns as per usual, so it's a great place to farm shotgun shells. Not just plastic to make them. Let me go ahead and hit this section just so I'm getting the full plastic load that I can get. And that's it. Alright, so now we're going to head in the front area. There's a couple main sections to this park. I usually break it up into chunks. Usually I head left first. Well, usually I head front first, and this is why. These can chimes are a great source of steel and lead if you're doing any type of gun build. So each one of those is 9 tin cans, so that's 9 lead apiece, and there goes 18. So 18 lead, 18 steel, bam. That's 1 or 2 crafts for most bullets, right off the bat. Okay, we hit the cigarette machine, because the ciggies are worth it. We got straw cups all over the ground. We're just going to kill the enemies first real quick so we can get them out of the way so we don't get jumped later while we're looking at stuff. Head mostly garbage. Alright. Now, what you're looking at is all this trash on the ground. You just want to make sure it's the one that has the straw and cup. And pick it up. Okay, and here's the Nuka-Cola cup pack. Whenever they're stacked like this, doesn't need the straw, you just want the actual pack. So, Broken Doll is 1 plastic, Jangles is 1 plastic, the cup pack is 1 plastic, the straw and cup is 1, cigarettes are 1, the board game is 1, okay. That's fine. It's all going to add up fairly quickly. There are tons of them all over the place, right in here, right in our spot. There's a broom. Take the brooms, you don't take the mops. Mops do not have plastic in them. I used to pick them both up until I realized that one was flagged and one was not, and I was being dumb. Right? If you need rubber, this is a great place for rubber as well. So if you're rocking the trapper armor, or you're doing like a lot of things that need rubber pieces, you know, this is the place to come. There are basketballs all over the place in this spot, and just tons and tons and tons of them. There's a lot of wooden blocks here as well. Wooden blocks are lead, because apparently, you know, all the toys had lead paint in them, and that was perfectly okay in this world. There's the vendor. He's always in this area. He'll wander around this little kiosk a little bit back and forth, but for the most part, he's usually just right there. Okay. Just check around, make sure we didn't miss any cups anywhere. And what I usually do is I will head back this way. There's a broom. I'll head back over here. Usually there's like ticks or bugs or something like that. It's usually like some type of flyer. Yep, there are mosquitoes this time. Apparently that was a challenge today, which is cool with me. Go away. I said go away. Stop chewing on my face. I don't like it. Check this one. Still looking for them plastic pieces. Oh, there's a weapons workbench. There's a couple of workbenches here too, so like if you get over encumbered because you're picking up other stuff as well, like say you still need weapon mods or you want the steel off the weapons, there's like a weapons bench there, and then there's one to the left in here. That's a raider camp. I usually save that section for last. So usually once I finish this, I'll just sprint back over here into the other game area. Make sure I didn't miss any cups that are worth something. Alright, so that was one section. So it's from here, grab those traps, down around the side. Then, this is a big roller coaster. This is the center of this area. So that's the last area. And then the next section I go to is all the games. Now this is the area where I was talking about where if you need rubber, there is tons of it. I'm going to kill these guys real quick. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. There are other insects over this way that sometimes will have these guys already dead, so if I get attacked, then I kill them. If I don't, then they're probably gone and I don't worry about it. I come in here. This place usually has 2 ammo containers, and if you've got ammo scrounger, you can scrounge both of those, which is nice. Get a lot of extra stuff that way. Alright, there's nothing there we need. I just run down one side, looking for the straws. Pull a cup with straws. Oh, I wonder what went up here. Nope, nothing up here. Never hurts to double check on top of stuff, guys, because there's a lot of really neat stuff hidden in places you wouldn't think you could get up to just by being a little creative with your jumping. This game is done pretty good about hiding little bits and bobs to find. Appear to be lagging again. Okay, so nothing here. That's the third section, so I'll finish this area and then I go to the third section. Here. Cup I missed? No, it's just a cup. Okay. You're just looking for anything plastic. Plastic. I like the plastic. There. Move right along. Move right along. Very grade duct tape. Yes, please. I will happily take some ballistic fiber. Thank you. Okay. Cuppies. Cuppy, cuppy, cuppy. Okay, so that's the end of the second section that I do. Third section I do is right here with all the buggies. Hold still. Let me slice you. Now, if you need acid, these guys are great for that because I'm pretty sure... Oop, getting attacked. Pretty sure the proboscis that they have gives you acid. It does, 2 acid even. Now, acid, for those who are not aware, is very useful in this game. You can turn ore into scraps. So if you have lead or iron, you can turn them into lead scraps, lead steel, which you can then craft with. You can also turn cloth into gunpowder. So if you're like me, and you don't necessarily always feel like farming up a crap ton of super mutants, or you're on a character that just really can't put out the damage for those bullet sponges, you can always farm up some acid. Now, I will have a series of acid videos as well, and I will be going over that quite a bit. There are a couple of areas that are very useful to have that most people don't bother with, and we'll touch on those. Apparently, there's a duffel bag, which is good. I'll take shotgun shells. Saves me from having to craft some. Not really. I'm still going to craft them, but now I got that many more to use. And then you're just checking all these. Usually there's more plastic out here than this. I usually find a couple pieces out here at least, but I guess I'm just not going to have any luck with that today. Now, the other reason I like Camden Park is because it's so rarely touched. I hardly ever see anyone on the map out here, but even when I'm out here farming, because sometimes people will come check out what you're doing just to see why you're in an area, especially if they see you out there for a while. People don't even come out here to check on that. Like, the amount of times I've even seen another player out here who wasn't playing with me, I think I can count it on one hand. And I've spent a lot of time out here on multiple characters. Alright, so we've got cup packs, we got cups with straws. Give me that plastic. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Alright, this is section number 4 before we head to the final section in the center. I just touch up all this. If you're doing the daily, you'll know this one well because you'll spend some time out here. Okay. Siggies of plastic. Do need screws, always need screws. Alright. Much in there this time. And we got some more scorched, which we'll just kill real quick. Yeah, a lot of the scorched in this area are sleeping. Like, they're doing the I'm just staring off in the distance and not doing anything game that they like to do. So if you're a fast mover or you're a little laggy like I am, usually they don't even know you're there before you're already hitting them and killing them. Cigarettes this time. Plastic. Dog food, yes please. Alright, there's 3 plastic. We'll head out. Finish making our rounds around the outskirts here. Checking for that last little bit. There's some fuel if you ever need it. Oil and steel, I believe. First aid kit. Both of those. There. That's a shame. That's a crying shame. Alright, so that's section number 4. Alright, we've pretty much done a full clear. I'm just going to check these things. And there's nothing there. So that's section 4. Now, the last section, which is the center section here, which is the roller coaster, was actually a raider camp that got nuked from orbit by Scorched. So you want to be careful coming into this spot because there's traps all over. But you've also got 2 more can chimes, which are great for lead and steel. Just be careful because, as you can see, there's that trap right there. I believe it's a springboard. Yeah, there it is. Oh, spike trap board that'll pop down out of there. Every entrance that comes into this is trapped. Now this location is great. There are tons of things that you can scavenge and scrap out. Portable fuel tank, which has screws. There's tons of bodies, which are good for gunpowder and grenades. Then you've got the duffel bags, which if they have ammo and guns in them, you can do the ammo scrounger perk on them. Got ammo cans, which you can do the ammo scrounger perk on. And there's just all kinds of loose stuff. So we're just going to quickly do a quick run through. Still mostly looking for plastic, but I'm not going to pass up a little bit of lead too. There's also power armor that spawns in here. I don't know if it's here right now. I'll take a look in a second. But if you're looking for another power armor spawn spot, got you. It is not here right now, but there is usually power armor here. I know that this is a spot that is on a couple of different lists that people are using for... Yep, there goes the lag. Please let me finish this run before you boot me. Pretty please. Pretty please. Run's almost over. Don't do me like this, game. Fat man. Too bad I'll never use it because they just don't do enough damage. Now, if you're looking for submachine guns early game because you're doing an automatic build, this is a place because these two bodies always have two submachine guns that spawn on them or around them. So it's a really good place to quickly run out to early game and pick them up. They always spawn here unless somebody's picked them up and scrapped them, so you can just keep coming out here and farming them over and over again. You can get as many mods as you need until you've maxed them out. They're worth, I think, 5 to 7 steel a pop when you scrap them. All that good stuff, just worth doing. Now, there's not a lot of plastic out here, but a lot of everything else, so still worth coming out. That's a lot of steel. All those dinner plates and stuff, those are usually steel. I use a lot of hides, so I come out here quite a bit for those as well. Okay. I'll grab the hides off of these, because I wasn't thinking. Alright. Closet ski does not have plastic. Ski poles do have plastic, but you won't find them here very much. Those are mostly in other areas. Okay. Alright, and that's it for this section. Now, the last place you can check on your way out, usually an ammo box up here that I like to get. Fine. I believe I just became over encumbered. Then there are another 2 traps here. It's just normal Nuka-Cola cups. There's another fusion generator there. There's 2 fusion generators in this location. There's one here, and there's one in one of the earlier sections. I believe section 3 has it. Let's see here. Nothing there. Now, if you need the key for this area, you'll know what I mean when you get there. It's easiest to just jump onto that railing there, jump up onto that, and then jump over the edge to that side and move on up and around. So, I'm just going to go ahead and drop back down here now that they're dead. And then I'm going to go pick up the last of the cups on this walkway, and then that's the end of this run. We'll then go take a quick look, see what kind of plastic we got, and see if it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it to me just because you can never have enough spots to get plastic, especially considering how heavily some of them get picked over. So you've got multiple plastic places you can go to with each time you get into a server. Save yourself a lot of loading time, save yourself a lot of hassle with stuff already being picked over. You know, you can just keep tagging multiples of the same ones that are working for you over and over again. And once you get a rhythm down and you know where everything's at and you're not trying to walk other people through it, you can just sprint through this place. You can just rocket through here and grab exactly the parts that you need and ignore everything else. In power armor, once you've got like T45 plus power armor, you don't even have to fight anything in here if you don't want to. You can literally just run through and pick up everything you want and ignore everything. So, we're going to go ahead and scrap and let's see what we got. Got 71 lead, not too bad. 23 leather, which isn't too bad, and 48 plastic. So, not anywhere near as much plastic as the other places, but it's still 50 plastic, almost. There's going to be a little bit of variance, so you're still going to get, 5 crafts out of that as far as shotgun shells, and you got a bunch of other good stuff to go with it. If you're playing a build that does not need plastic for bullets, it's still pretty good for steel and lead. which I didn't even pick up everything that had lead. I just picked up a lot of it because it was there. So that's what we've got on this one, and we will be doing another one shortly. Here are the 2 submachine guns I picked up. They do scale according to your level, and they were 7 steel apiece. I don't use them, so that's it for this run. Thanks, guys.